Jammu Links News Top Stories is brought to you by Tasya Herbals alcohol-based hand sanitizer with neem and aloe vera extracts, helping India fight COVID-19. A 60-year-old man from Noorbag area of Srinagar died of COVID-19 on Thursday, becoming the 8th Srinagar resident and 35th in Jammu and Kashmir to die of the novel coronavirus disease. He had pleural effusion. With this fatality, the death toll due to the virus in J&K has gone up to 35. So far, Srinagar district with 8 deaths due to the virus has highest fatalities, followed by Baramulla 7, Anantnag 5, Kulgam 4, 2 each from Shopian and Budgam, and Jammu, while 1 death each has been reported from Bandipora, Kupwara, Doda and Udhampur. A comprehensive search operation has been launched in Mindhar area of Poonch district following inputs about the infiltration of a heavily armed group of terrorists from across the line of control. Earlier on Monday, an infiltration attempt was foiled by the army on LOC in Mindhar area. Urging upon the Lieutenant Governor to give priority attention to the concerns of the educated unemployed, underemployed and retrenched employees of various departments of J&K in the SAC meet scheduled for 6th June, Harshdev Singh, Chairman JK NPP and former minister, said that the youth of erstwhile state had been treated most shabbily by the centre as well as state during the past few years. While the BJP-led government surpassed all other governments in giving lofty slogans and tall assurances of youth empowerment, the actual delivery was in worse proportion to the articulation of the said promises, he said. The Pradesh Youth Congress on Thursday held a protest against the Jammu and Kashmir administration's order to privatize power distribution and install nearly 2 lakh smart meters across the region as part to generate revenue. The protest was led by Youth Congress President Udhay Bhanu Chib outside the party office. Traders of Residency Road Market, Jammu on Thursday kept their establishments closed for the second consecutive day in protest of the no parking order of the district administration. They said that this is completely unfair to issue such an order when the administration has failed to create any parking space in the nearby vicinity. A civilian was injured when terrorists fired upon a police party in Jammu and Kashmir's Kulgam district on Thursday. Terrorists fired upon a police party near Yaripura Chowk in the South Kashmir district in the afternoon. A civilian was injured to the firing and he had been taken to the hospital. There are no reports of injuries to any police personnel and the area has been cordoned off and a hunt launched to nab the attackers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday said that India and Australia share deep and extensive ties based on the shared interest and values between the two nations. The Prime Minister thanked Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison for accepting the invite for the virtual bilateral summit and said that the online meeting cannot replace his actual presence in India, which was due earlier this year. The Prime Minister said that this time is ripe and perfect to further strengthen relations between India and Australia. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Thursday, in a dialogue with industrialist Rajiv Bajaj on the economic fallout of the COVID-19 crisis, criticized the central government for its handling of the disease and said that there was no lockdown even during the World War. Responding to the Congress leader, Bajaj criticized the central government for imposing the draconian lockdown and claimed that it was only in India that people were not allowed to move outdoors. US Ambassador to India Kenneth Juster on late Wednesday sincerely apologized for the vandalism and desecration of Mahatma Gandhi's statue situated outside Embassy of India's office in Washington, D.C. earlier in the day by unruly elements involved in the ongoing protest in the United States. Even as India and China are talking to resolve the ongoing dispute in Ladakh, the Chinese troops have gone back a few hundred yards in the Galwan Nala area. The development comes at a time when for the last 3 to 4 days, there have not been any major movement of People's Liberation Army troops at the multiple sites where it has stationed itself along the line of actual control opposite Indian forces. Sources said that ahead of the talks at the Lieutenant General rank on June 6th, this seems to be a positive development. Opposing privatization of power and imposing of unreasonable taxes of various kinds burdening the common people, especially the transport sector, besides taking several other arbitrary and unilateral decisions by the UT administration and central government, Jammu and Kashmir Pradesh Congress Committee has lashed out at the BJP for totally neglecting its responsibilities towards the common people and least bothered about the miseries of electorate in the bureaucratic setup as a ruling party at the centre and in completely commanding the rule in UT. Coronavirus cases in India saw a record single-day jump of 9,304 cases on Thursday, pushing the total tally to 2,16,919, while the death toll climbed to 6,075 with 260 new fatalities. India stood 7th among the nations worst hit by the COVID-19 pandemic after the US, Brazil, Russia, the UK, Spain and Italy. Around 47.99% patients have recovered so far. Pakistan resorted to unprovoked firing in Hiranagar sector in Jammu and Kashmir's Kathua district on Thursday morning, BSF sources said. Pakistan Rangers targeted residential areas of nearby villages in which some houses were damaged. However, no losses to human life or injuries have been reported yet. The Jammu and Kashmir government has evacuated about 1,09,358 JK residents stranded in other parts of the country due to COVID lockdown via Lakhanpur and through special trains and buses till date, amid strict observance of all necessary guidelines and standard operating procedures. As per the official data received in this regard, the administrations of Jammu and Kashmir district have received 43 special trains at Jammu and Udhampur railway stations from different states and UTs so far, with about 33,532 stranded passengers, while about 75,826 persons have been evacuated by the government through Lakhanpur till date.